How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having the best day ever. Today we're going to take a look at how I was able to get over 39,000 capital peak points in this last raid weekend. So let's jump into some of the attacks and see which bases I'm hitting and how I am taking them out. So first on the agenda is a Builder's Workshop cleanup attack. We've got 6,000 points remaining. And we can see here we have the Expo, 2 of the cannons, and a large portion of the base still remaining. So we've got 65% of the base to go, and we're going to try and focus on this left-hand side of the base first. Set up some of our giants and our super wizards. And we're also going to be using the graveyard spells to try and take out some of these back-end splash targeting defenses. So we are bringing in a few packs of hog gliders so that they can hopefully directly target some of those splash targeting defenses, or perhaps some bomb towers or some Teslas that are going to give us some troubles. But pretty much we're going to try and spam through all of these bases as quickly as possible and try to get as many points as possible. So hopefully we can continue to upgrade our clan capital, get better and better defenses, and earn more and more points every single week. So there's not too much left to explain on this attack, just using the ground graveyard spam strategy at our last hog glider to directly target the giant cannon. And we're able to smash through this base. So we get the full amount of points plus an additional 513 points, which is awesome. Next on the list is a Skeleton Park first hit. Going to be using a different strategy, which is what I think is one of the best ones to use for the basic layout or the default layout of the Skeleton Park. So we're bringing in 2 P.E.K.K.A.s, 6 hogs, 6 rams, and then usually 1 pack of minions, and then at least 6 barbarians. Then you have 10 camp space troop to sort of play with. I usually just bring in a couple of extra barbarians. But then we are focused on trying to protect this P.E.K.K.A. on this left-hand side and get him to go into the base, target the air bombs. We use 1 ram, 1 barbarian to take out the wizard tower up top, and that opens the top section of the base, and we can deploy minions on this top section, and it will eventually, 1 or 2 minions will take out this giant cannon, which is kind of crazy. Then on the other side of the base, we have our other P.E.K.K.A. along with some supporting troops to try and blast through as much of the base as possible. Now the tricky part is trying to see if you can take out this rocket artillery. The rocket artillery does give a nice amount of points, so we're going to try and take it out if possible. We do succeed, which is very, very nice. And we do finally take out the giant cannon up top. So it didn't get quite as far into the base as I usually like to see. Usually I like to get around, usually 6,000 or 7,000 if possible. So got a little bit unlucky with the pathing and the deployment there. So now we're going to be taking a look at a Golem Quarry first hit. Now I'm trying to get better and better at the one-shot of the basic layout of the Golem Quarries. Is possible, just takes a little bit of practice and finesse. Trying out a couple of different things. We're trying to clear out the middle section of this base. We've zapped down the other air defenses on this left-hand side. And then in theory, if you can push through the core of the base, and you take out this rock artillery back here, you can directly target this rocket artillery with a pack of minions, and directly target this air defense with a pack of rocket balloons. Doing that allows you to take out this whole left-hand side of the base, so I just want to practice that and see, if we deploy these amount of troops on the right-hand side, are we successful or not? So, nearly successful. We did not quite get to the rock artillery on the back end, but still, very nice attack where we got 6,500 points from 1 attack. It's just crazy. So last on the first stage is going to be the Balloon Lagoon cleanup attack. We've got 2 of the rock artilleries on the back end still remaining, so it should be pretty easy to take those out with just the graveyard spell themselves. And then again, we are going to be trying to create sort of 2 groups going into the core of the base. You want to create 2 groups with your giants and your super wizards so that not all of them clump up together, just in case they have a bunch of well-placed bomb towers or a bunch of ground mines. Those can all splash and hit all of your super wizards, which is no good at all. Also, if there are the blast bows, the rock artilleries, the giant cannons, all of those typically splash through the giants and clip the super wizards at some point during the attack. So if you have two groups, just naturally you'll be taking less damage overall. Get the full amount of points plus 288. So next up, we're going to be taking a look at some other hits on similar bases. Another hit on the Builder's Workshop and another hit on the Skeleton Park. So this Builder's Workshop is going to be a cleanup attack, and we're going to try and be able to take out this whole left-hand side with just a couple of the graveyard spells. So in theory, we can ideally focus on this right-hand side. So we're doing a couple of wizards to take out the Crushers and the the District Hall, setting in one giant to tank. And then we're going to try and let that group do all the work for us. Pull a couple more giants down. And then we're going to be able to save the hogs for the giant cannons. So I'm going to try and push through this section of the base with just the one or two graveyards that we put down. Then we can save the last graveyard for when the troops start to go around the other side of the base to help us out immensely. So we do see that we're getting some chip damage on the giant cannons on the right hand side of the base. Now that our troops are starting pathing into the middle and the top side of the base, we can start to send in some of the rams to distract. And then we can try and focus on this right hand portion of the base with the first group. Send in a couple of the hogs to help assist. And then the rest of the rams to open up the walls. We're able to get a very nice cleanup on this attack with a lot of troops still alive. And if you do the Builder's Workshop correctly, you can get the full amount of points. We see we got a bonus 420 points. Very, very nice. So last up is a cleanup attack on the Skeleton Park. Typically don't like to do cleanup attacks, but this was sort of a different variation of the basic layout. They had some walls moved around, so I figured, hey, you know what, we'll set up the first attack to take out a good portion of the base, and then we'll try and clean it up with one more attack. Your goal should be to always try and two-shot districts. Usually the only exceptions are the Dragon Cliffs and the Capital Peaks. Those typically require 3 attacks. So here we are mostly worried about this back end rock artillery. Again, we've got our big group of giants and super wizards going to the base. We lose a bunch of super wizards from that rock artillery. Just get annihilated. But we do have a couple of hogs. We are just out of range of that bomb tower, so we're able to bust through the wall. All the skeletons essentially get sacrificed. And then we are able to pick up the remaining defenses on the south portion of the base. We're able to get 6,745 points plus an additional 240. So hopefully this video is helpful. Hopefully you can see which bases I'm attacking. When I'm going for points, I pretty much only use the ground graveyard spam strategy. Works out very, very well. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out a bunch. There's a couple more videos on the screen if you want to keep on watching. Until next time, take care.